to the Reviews from the Trap. Reviews from the Trap is where we introduce and we review classic urban street shows, urban street movies, and all that. Anything from Power to Snowfall to BMF, and in movies, anything from Paid in Full to New Jack City to Boys in the Hood. But first, before we get into that, we want to introduce ourselves to let y'all know a little bit about who we are. I am DC Rock, and this is Cloud with me. And me personally, I'm a radio personality. I'm a streetwear designer, and I create a lot of content. I host parties, events, things like that, and I curate events too.
And I'm Cloud. I'm a photographer, do all kind of photography. Currently finding myself specializing in fashion. I'm a cinematographer. I guess that's pretty much rounds it up.
And before we get started with the recap of the show we is currently watching, I want to say this is sponsored and brought to you by Eternal Smoke.
Shout out Eternal Smoke.
Right now, y'all see I'm smoking a hookah. I'm smoking on the milk and cookies from Eternal Smoke. This personally my favorite flavor that they got, but they got great flavors from anything milk and cookies, chilled wine, Houdini Secret, and all that. So y'all make sure y'all follow them at Eternal Smoke. But so for our first watch, we just gonna do the whole season 1 recap of Power Book 2 Goats. Power Book 2 Goats. So this is more about Tariq and Tasha after Goat's death.
RP to the GOAT.
RP to Goats, cause that was my nigga.
Honestly,
that was my dude. I ain't gonna lie.
Honestly, all right. So I guess so right before we get into book 2, let's talk about book 1. Let's give cause we just gotta give respect to the GOAT.
Ghost was just that guy to me. Ghost was just. Don't get me wrong. There was some wrongs that he did. There were some things that
I don't think he did.
People made mistakes. People did wrongs and stuff like that. I think the way he went about going towards Vanessa could have been communicated better.
Vanessa.
I mean Angela. My bad. Yeah, Angela. I think it could have been communicated better
to Tasha,
to just everybody overall,
kids
just,
and all.
Yeah, just everybody overall. And I also think as parents that's living that life, I think as your kids grow up, you should communicate that better of how we got all this, what's going on. Probably. Cause that's what Tariq. That's Tariq's problem. Tariq's problem is that he didn't know nothing about this. So as he slowly found out, he just think like everything is glamorous and once he find out like what people doing, he think Ghost got this because he was dealing drugs. Well, I could do it too then.
But that was the problem with Tariq. Ghost sold drugs so that Tariq didn't have to, and Tariq.
Yeah.
It was okay.
But the thing is, Ghost wanted to not tell them nothing about it.
Right.
Like he didn't want to tell them nothing about it. He wanted them to know that he was this upstanding.
Well, he wanted to go legit, so he wouldn't even have to.
Yeah, he wanted them to know that he was this upstanding businessman, this and that, and I think people around Goats, it just wasn't happening. From Tommy to Cannon to
right.
He met Dre, he met all them people. So
which brings me to my next point. You named all of them, and those were villains. Antagonists, if you will, but Tasha was the main villain of the whole Ghost saga.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say I ain't gonna go as far to call Tasha a villain.
No, she was the villain.
But I ain't gonna go as far to call Tasha a villain. I just think that she went about certain things the wrong way too. I think she went around a lot of things the wrong way too. Cause you gotta say Tasha Ghost brought it to her that he wanted to do the truth thing. He wanted to be upstanding businessman. The Tasha thing is
and
that
ladies,
Ghost is the best drug dealer of all time, and she wanted him to live that life. That's all she knew.
Ladies, if your man come to you and tell you his dream, and you say, nah, nigga, that's not who you are. You will forever be who you are today.
Yeah.
You lost him.
Yeah, facts.
He can go about it wrong or right, but you lost him in that moment. And she did that in episode 1, in season 1, episode 1.
Yeah, and but at the same time, Ghost was a dude that was doing everything he can to try to get away from that life, but people around him again brought him back into that life.
And he told Tommy you can have it.
Yeah, he had to, but to be honest, the people didn't trust Tommy enough, because they didn't trust Tommy enough to deal with it, so they went back to Ghost again. Like all they plugs and stuff was like, bro, where Ghost at? Like I need to talk to Ghost. I need
Tommy
to be Ghost.
Isn't really, to me, everyone. And it's funny that a lot of people like Tommy over Ghost. Tommy is not a boss to me.
Nah.
Tommy broke all the number 1 rules. You don't get high off your own supply. And then he go crazy every time a woman come in, and he a hothead.
Yeah, he a hothead.
He might be a good soldier.
No, Tommy is the number 1 soldier.
Yeah.
Tommy is the number 1 soldier.
He's a shooter, but he ain't no boss.
He ain't stepped into that boss mode yet. But Tommy,
which is why he ain't want Ghost to go out.
Yeah, but I think after Ghost's death, Tommy learned a lot from. It's interesting that what's gonna happen when he do his whole
the
show.
Chicago joint. Shout out Chi-Town, that's the hometown.
Right, it's gonna be interesting to see what's happening. I think, and they even show in this Tariq thing that at the end of the day, everybody learned from Ghost. Everybody learned from Ghost. All these moves people making, they learned from Ghost.
I really hated Tariq doing the Ghost saga. I really I don't know if it's good acting, good writing, what it is, but like I really felt like it was a little video he did. He was, I guess, a cool dude for doing that, but that's how I really felt. Like if I saw the actor in real life, I would want to whoop his ass. Like
Tariq is just an on, and it just, I hate him, and then like watching his Power Book 2 Goats thing made me kind of be on his side a little. But you want to go ahead and get into season 1 recap?
All right, so let's get into the season 1 recap. Power Book 2 season 1, which pretty much picks up right after the Ghost saga. Yeah. That's what we could call it. So let's see how does that break down. So we open up Tasha, the mom. She's of course going through the court situation for allegedly killing Ghost.
Yeah.
What's his name? Stein, the rich dude. He gets Tariq into, what's it called? Stanford.
Yeah, Stanford.
He gets Tariq into Stanford on account that he'll keep Zeke, their star token black basketball player, on account that keep you be his tutor, do whatever you got to do to make sure. Actually, he was on academic probation, so get him out of academic probation and keep him off academic probation. And you know what I'm saying, you can come to the school. So then I think he meets that, which is basically how he meets Monet.
Yeah, he keep him off of academic probation, Zeke. Now Zeke is an athlete, don't get me wrong, but Zeke is the way that Tariq get to meet Monet and the rest of the family, which is Kane, Diana, Drew,
right,
and all that. They all family. Lorenzo, which is their dad, that's locked up, but he's the boss of all of this shit, really, of all of the moves. Really, Power Book 2 GOAT Season 1 is, I want to say it's like the suburban version of the original Power.
Word. And which I would love to kind of address right before we even go further. I love how they set it up to where it is a mirror, is a parallel, but like you said, it's the little bit more high class version. Even though it do get very street.
Yeah, it gets
you
street.
Feel me? So it's like it mirrors. So you got Diane, which is, so you got Ghost, you got Tariq. You know what I mean? You got Tasha, you got Diane. You got Angela, you got what's shorty name?
Lauren.
Lauren, I think. The light skinned shorty with the boyfriend. You can't trust him, bro. With, you know what I'm saying? Then you got his homeboy, the Westfield guy or whatever. What's his name? Brandon? What's his best friend? His Tommy.
Yeah, Brandon.
Yeah, his Tommy. You feel me? So it's real dope how they set up the parallel. I love how they set up that parallel, but they introduce all the characters. You got Tasha. She's going to court. She eventually has to fire. I can't remember shorty name, but she was from the Ghost Saga.
Yeah, the old lady.
Yeah,
old lady.
She fires her attorney.
I don't remember her name. Let me do some. Her name is Tamika on the show.
Word. She fires Tamika. And so Tariq, which pretty much gives Tariq like, okay, boom, I gotta get in the game. Gotta get my Dukes a lawyer, you feel me? Which brings him to Method Man's character.
Method Man, which is Davis.
A really big, buddy, he like to be all in he likes to shine. The
limelight. He's that lawyer that wants to shine.
Right.
He's the proctor.
The headline.
He's the more Proctor didn't want to shine.
Yeah.
Proctor in the original Power didn't want to shine.
He really banged with Ghost.
He was just a great lawyer, and he really banged with Ghost.
Word.
Davis is, I want to shine. Word. And I want my money
by any means. I want the win.
I want the win by any means.
Word. So they hired Davis, and so Sax should have died. I really wanted Sax
died
dead
so long time
in the Ghost Saga. Damn, it was so many times where I'm like, he about to die. He that snake.
So Sax on the season 1 recap went from being a prosecutor to now he end up not prosecuting nobody. Really?
He didn't do shit.
He didn't really do shit.
He got fired.
He got fired. Now he's working with Davis.
Word. So and that's how his arc ends in this season. He ends up working with that. So he goes up, down, and up throughout the season, but he ends, I guess you could say, on the up because he's making more money, and he's So she hires Davis, and Davis he come in with the slickness, but what happened is she messes up because in court she says that Tommy Egan killed Ghost.
Yeah, fact.
When Tariq told her to go ahead and say it's me, ma, because he didn't want her to go down. So he was like, say it was me, I'll take it, you get free. So he was all prepared to go. She says Tommy Egan.
Yeah.
So at this point now the Democratic Party that Ghost represented when he died, they peep game. They like, oh, okay. So if she could tell Tommy to do it, she must have been the kingpin. And we can get Ghost off Ghost's name completely clean. Ghost was just a clean politician. You know what I mean? So they was like, okay, let's do what we gotta do to let her take everything now. Yeah. So what they do, they make a deal with the state. Yo, you go drop our charges, we taking it over, and then we fit hit her with the kingpin charge.
Right.
So that's basically what happened. So now which kind of the story really paints how intelligent, conniving, and scheme. You know what I'm saying? Like Tariq is.
Yeah.
So when Davis come to Tariq, like, bro, what the hell going on? Because that's basically what happens. They come over and they tell the state, like, you got to drop these charges because we finna take over. State drops the charges, and immediately Sachs comes in with the new charges of kingpin. So Tariq tells, Davis is pissed. He's like, bro, what's going on? Like, what you got me in? And Tariq's like, yo, this is the biggest case of your life. So, you'll get a lot of clout for this. You'll be the most powerful lawyer in New York for that.
So, yeah, basically Davis is with it after that.
Right.
After Tariq sold him that, Davis is with it. Davis is all in. He definitely won his $500,000 still, though.
Immediately.
He still won his $500,000. So what Tariq do? Tariq is on college campus now.
Word.
Tariq hollers at
So the rich white dude, his husband
is
Mr.
now he's some type of genius basically that makes
tech guru.
Right, tech guru. He makes an app for Tariq. It's supposed to be about tutoring, but Tariq use it to sell the drugs around campus.
Wow.
He use the app that sell the drugs around campus, and that shit gets booming instantly.
Word. It's an app where it is the cover of it is a tutor, so it's like it's like Uber Eats but for tutoring for students.
Yeah.
And he had it set up so if you really wanted a tutor, you can go one route, but if you wanted the drugs,
you go another route.
And he was charging them 3 times the normal price, which
yeah, on college campus you could do that,
especially with.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's not racist, but hey, that was just a thing.
So again, Tariq gets the plug from tutoring Zeke, and Zeke leads the way of finding the real plug for him to be able to sell drugs again, so he could pay for the lawyer fee to get his mom Tasha out of jail.
If I'm not mistaken, first he went to what's the name, Effie.
Yeah.
And because he was going like Tariq so when Tariq first started tutoring Zeke took him to a party that what's the name Monet threw for him at her house. And so once he went to the party, he peeped game, saw what was going on. He walked in on Kane getting hit in the bathroom.
He knew something was going on. He just had to find out who's the plug.
Right.
And he saw Monet because the situation happened at the party where Kane had to beat up a dude. And he basically found out that Monet is the plug after that. So after he finds out Monet the plug, he gets in close with the family and they end up trusting him. Now he just doing his thing around campus. A lot of things happen in between that. There's the teachers that's basically trying to cover the whole, that's trying to get in the midst of the situation. They don't all the way know what's going on yet until later on in the season of season 1. The dude, Jabari, he ends up finding out later on in the season what really goes on. And
he was writing that novel.
He was writing a book.
So when he found out, and it was funny because when me and Deuce was watching it, I'm like, yo, he just committed suicide.
Yeah, he sat there and told Tariq everything he knows, and he basically was right on. And Tariq at that point, they couldn't do nothing but off him. At that point, the
camera hit Tariq's face, and his face went from I'm not to
it got real.
And that meant so you gotta die.
Yeah, basically. That just bit.
Okay, you dead.
That just bit right. That's all that bit. That's all that.
That's all that meant.
So later on this season, they end up offing Jabari.
Jabari was smashing.
And again, I'm sure all of y'all Power fans watched the whole season 1, so we ain't gonna say piece by piece what happened. But they end up offing Jabari because he just know too much. Know too much. They had to off him. Tommy comes back on the scene.
That's what I was gonna say. Let's just we gave y'all a good little piece of what going on with each character, or just a little bit of their story. So we'll let you know how it ended, so we can smoothly transition into season 2. Our boy Tommy came, man.
Tommy came back, and bro, I don't know if I ever been so excited. I don't know if I ever watched a show and been so excited.
Word.
When I see Tommy come back on the scene, I was like, yes, Tommy is back. My dog. Boy, Tommy. Shout out to that Mustang. I gotta get one. But Tommy comes back on the scene, and he wants war.
Word.
He wants war. He knows that Tasha is snitch. Tasha basically told on him and said that he did everything, which he didn't do none of that. What Tasha talking about? Tasha blaming him for the murder.
Still a villain,
right? And
Ursula had that.
So Tommy shoots up. Tommy comes back and he shoots up the bar that Monet owns. He shoots up the bar, and not just to let him know, like, yo, I'm here and I'm coming for war.
Right.
And then Tasha gets out of jail. Tasha gets out. She's free. She under protective services or whatever you call it. And basically they have a car chase with Tasha, a couple other cops, and Tommy. They have a car chase. Tommy do a they do a scenery where
they fake Tommy's death. They come up with a plan to fake Tommy's death. That and Tariq and his mother was gonna run. So as the cops figured Tommy's dead, they stopped looking for him. Tariq and his mother in the wind.
So all right, let's take it back. Let's take it when Tariq kills Jabari. Because right after Tariq kills Jabari at the
Jabari is the professor.
Yeah,
the professor we said that committed suicide. When he's writing his novel and he figures out that Tariq is involved in the drug, he's like, yo, I can make my novel on this. And so he calls Tariq in and tell him, I know everything basically, but I'll give you part of my advance if you tell me your story and let me write my book about you. And he follows Tariq.
Yeah, he follows Tariq. So Tariq already knew he had to kill Jabari. So I'm basically trying to bring back how Tommy comes after Tariq kills Jabari. Right after Tariq kills Jabari, Kane is there. This the whole scene. Kane is there with him. Kane makes sure that he kills Jabari. Mm-hmm. Now Kane is basically the son of Monet and the hitter for they whole thing. Right. So Kane makes sure Tariq kills Jabari. Right after that happens, Kane leaves and it's only Tariq after he kills Jabari. Then Tommy shows up again out of nowhere.
Right.
He shows up. He basically about to either kill Tariq or something. He basically is about to kill Tariq. Right. But then Monet shows up. Mm-hmm. Monet knows nothing about Tommy.
She don't give
Monet knows nothing about Tommy. Monet holds the gun up to Tommy's head and basically tell him, like, listen, I don't care what y'all got going on. All I know, you about to mess up my money. So I'm about to try to offer you. Tariq still has that feeling as Uncle Tommy.
Right.
So he basically tell Monet, like, yo, you can't kill Tommy. We gonna let Tommy go about his way. And Tommy basically followed that rule of I'ma just go about my way. You know, Tommy taught some shit, but he at the end of the day he just went about his way. And that was really that of the season 1 recap. I mean, Tommy goes about his way. Tasha leaves to go into protective services. I guess they say she going to Arizona.
Where?
And Tariq stays, and he has to still work with Monet, because Monet wasn't gonna let him leave without still got to get some work done. You can't just leave. You just can't leave like that.
So, with all that being said, we're gonna do a real quick recap, and then we go kind of wrap it up, give you our general thoughts on it, and then we go start this next. We'll see y'all on the next episode where we'll talk about season 2, episode 1. So basically, Tasha's on trial for the ghost situation. Tariq gets her a lawyer where Davis comes in. Davis makes a deal with Zax eventually, that Tariq could be the one to take the fall. He'll take the win because his client will be good and Zax get his murderer. Diane is Monet's daughter. She's feeling Tariq. Tariq just been smashing everyone. She's feeling Tariq, but she's, very loyal and kind of do what her mom says while kind of doing her thing below the radar. You have Drew. He has a LGBT art. So shout out to the LGBT community. He has a pretty dope art with a basketball player, and his art's about I guess living your truth. And then you got Kane, who's pretty much like his Kanan. Really doesn't trust Tariq throughout the show, but they kind of get their situations entwined and kind of on the same team, but still don't trust each other, sort of, with the Jabari situation. And then you have his Angela, who's, I think, what's her name, Vanessa? His Angela. The rich girl. Lauren, which is pretty much his Angela. And she pretty much tries to prove that she likes him and everything like that. She tries to get his attention, but the streets is always calling Tariq, basically, when it comes to that. Like, he literally, every time she gets him by himself, he got to bounce.
Tariq not really trying to hear it. I mean, Tariq do his thing with the females. He got 3 females that just love him. But his goal is to get his mom straight. In season 1 recap, get his mom straight and do what he got to do to make sure he's safe also.
So through tutoring Zeke, and he keep putting pressure on Tariq to meet Monet. He finally meets Monet. She becomes his pretty much his plug, and she funnels the drugs through the school through him and his app, and with him and his friend, his Tommy. So things is pretty much getting hot, as far as heat on campus. When someone dies on campus, someone was trying to murder, which Kanan sent someone to murder Tariq.
Kane did.
Yeah, Kane. I'm sorry.
Kane sent someone to murder Tariq because basically he jealous of how much his mom, which is Monet, loves Tariq and loves. He jealous that he's on the scene of their whole family situation, period. So Kane is jealous, so he just trying to get rid of Tariq. But at the end of the day, Monet is not having it because Tariq is making no money. So that is happening. The Davis is on the scene as the lawyer. That is happening. He got his own mitts going on. The teachers, Jabari knew too much, so he had to get off. He had to get killed. Tommy comes back at the scene. He wants war, so he comes back on the scene. He wants war with everybody. But at the end of the day, Monet was about to off him. Tariq stopped it, and he goes about his business. And really, to be honest, that's how the season 1 ended.
So what do you think as a whole? How did season 1 hit you?
Season one made me realize that Ghost taught them everything. I mean, Ghost taught them how to get through all this. And season 1 made me, because after the original Ghost, I hated Tariq, but season 1 made me kind of fuck with Tariq, because I know a lot of Ghosts is in him, and he realizes that. And
shout out to the writing team, because only good writing can make someone who you hated for 6-7 years someone that you admire in this. I still hate the motherfucker. but what I think is dope is that season 1 and even season 2, he's understanding his father more because he's been put in certain situations where he has to make decisions that Ghost had to make through those seasons where everyone else might look at you wrong. They even have a thesis, not a conversation kind of about it.
Yeah, on the last episode of the season 1, Tariq tells Tommy, he was like, yo, I understand what James St. Patrick, I understand now that he did what he had to do to make shit happen.
Word.
So Tariq realizes that, and Tariq realizes that he more like his father than he thought.
Word.
And it just gets very, that's really it. It just get very interesting. We're going to give y'all, now we can go into season 2. We're going to give y'all episode by episode of season 2. We're going to give y'all episode by episode. So y'all just wait on that. Y'all just be ready for that. And I'm sure season 2 about to get interesting. Shout out to 50 Cent. Shout out to Courtney Kemp. She's the executive producer. And I still fuck with Power. I love what Power is doing.
Word. So yeah, and we're gonna cover every episode of every different season of Power. I think next is the Chicago joint. The Tommy. I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, that coming out in February. So we're gonna cover that. Until then, we still gonna do the season 2 episode by episode. So y'all get ready for that, man. Like we said, this is the reviews of the trap. And we're gonna give it to y'all. We're gonna give y'all the real. We're gonna give y'all what we thinking. We're gonna call some people that we know that's Power fans. We're gonna let y'all know what they thinking. We're gonna have special guests come through, and we just gonna have a great lot. They're gonna come kick it. They're gonna come kick it at the trap, reviews of the trap. And
yeah, that's why I had to walk over. I had to get my Trap Full hoodie. Right. My brother brand. Y'all make sure y'all follow it at Trap Full. You know what I'm saying? Follow my brand as well, Cloud9.visuals. And we're gonna be reviewing a lot, man. Y'all go see reactions. We go hit everything from movies and TV shows to rap. But I hope y'all love battle rap, because we go have reviews and we have reactions to those as well. So you know what I'm saying, y'all tune in, y'all bear with us. I love y'all for sticking with us through this first episode. You know what I mean? And take care of your mental health, man. You know what I'm saying? We love y'all. Take care of y'all mental health, man. Make sure y'all good. Times is crazy, man. So make sure y'all spreading peace and love. And y'all kick it with us, man. And shout out to the whole production team at Power. I know we might have some clips or whatever showing, man. We don't mean no harm, man. Y'all go actually watch this. Go actually download the Stars app. You feel me? And y'all support. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of black people in this production and this cast. So download the Stars app. Support the show. And we're gonna be rocking with y'all. We're gonna be doing reviews on a lot of other different shows, different movies. So
I appreciate everybody that's watching. I appreciate everybody that's supporting. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe, and y'all make sure y'all tell a friend to tell a friend to tell their family members to come and watch us do these reviews and watch the actual show Power, and watch every show and movie that we reviewing. And we're gonna give it to y'all with big facts, and that's it. Reviews of the trap.